The Nintendo 64 was around from 1996 until the final game being released in 2002. It kept a relatively small library of games, topping out at a mere 296 titles released here in North America. Honestly, most of the games you're probably familiar with, or the better games for the system, are the first-party titles that everyone knows about, but you know, a few slip through the cracks just like any other console. So here are 3 hidden gems for the system, in my opinion. Number 3. Quest 64. Quest 64, known as Holy Magic Century in Europe, is a role-playing video game developed by Imagineer and published by THQ. Even though the game was released 2 years after the N64's launch in 1996, this was actually the first RPG created for the console. Quest 64 is different from your typical RPG and is not based upon a traditional level-up model. Instead, you gain experience through your stats and how you perform in battles. Also, the game has no money system, so every item gathered throughout the game is either found in a treasure chest, dropped off by a monster, or given to Dude Man, free of charge.
Sure, this motherfucker was free, boy, free.
Quest 64's sales were higher than anticipated, and a sequel was revealed, but ultimately it was cancelled and never released. Number 2. Nightmare Creatures. Nightmare Creatures is a survival horror video game developed by Callisto Entertainment and published by Activision. The storyline for this game is based off of gothic horror elements of the 19th century in London. The story begins when a cult named the Brotherhood try to make an elixir to create a superhuman strength to take over the world. They are a devil-worshipping cult.
Ben Franklin is the devil!
Instead of the elixir bringing out superhuman strengths, it creates a fuck ton of monsters. Long story short, you get a book of the Brotherhood's research and you have to find the guy ahead of the operation and neutralize the monsters. There's a decent amount of blood and some ass whooping in the game.
I'll open up an $8 billion can of whoop ass and serve it to you, and that's all I got to say about that.
A sequel was made for this game, but it was only released for the PlayStation 1 and Dreamcast. Number 1. Starshot, Space Circus Fever. Starshot is a platform game released by Infogrames in 1999. This game's plot involves Sir Starshot, who is a star juggler in a space circus who needs to pay back the Intergalactic Bank in 10 days or his ship will be annihilated. Starshot uses a detection device to find new acts for his circus so he can make the kashish. You travel to 4 planets and get the acts for your circus, so you can raise enough money to pay the bank representative the loan back. Then you find out that the representative was just a robot from another circus trying to cornswoggle you, so you have to f*** his shit up. This is a really good platform game for the system, and no sequel was ever created. So if you see any of these gems on the cheap somewhere, pick them up, give them a good old finger pounding.